Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for week 173 of Build Your Stash and Craft. Today we are going to make beaded paperclip dangles, and they are side dangles for your journals, or you can use them as bookmarks. You can put them in a regular book and just put them in sideways on the book and use them as a bookmark. But here is the way that they look on your book. They just hang out the side like that, and you just take them and just choose a page to put them on and just clip them into your book, and then you have side dangles on your book. And you know, we always have lots of things that stick out the top and a few smaller things for the side, but I think these are really cute, super simple. I did see these on someone's channel, but I can't tell you whose. I do not remember where I saw them, but they are just very fun to make, and you know, and so simple. So we're just going to get to it. So what I've done is I've grabbed out the beads that we have that we bought when we bought some used jewelry and took it apart for beads for our stash. And so I've got those here, and I have some wire. And I'm going to show you how to make a jump ring real quick. We've done this before, but when I have new people, they like to know how we do these things. So we're just going to do it because it's very quick. All you need is a length of wire. Just depends on how long your wire is as to how many jump rings you're going to get. And so you're just going to start by holding down your wire against anything round. Here I'm just using a pen. And I also use skewers for smaller jump rings. It's easier for you to see for me to do it here on the pen, so I'm going to just show you how to do that. So just wrap that around, and then I kind of squunch it together, and just go ahead and kind of keep rolling it the way that we had when we were wrapping it around. Just kind of keep pulling on it like that. And then we have basically like a spring. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go right to let's do it this way, you might be able to see it better. Okay, right here is the start of our wire. Now that's sticking straight out, and I want my jump ring to be round. So I'm going to go over a bit to where it starts to round out, and I'm going to just nip that off. So now that one, when I cut it, will be round instead of having that little straight part. I'm going to pull it apart just a little bit because you only want to cut one wire at a time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flat part of my wire, put it right up against the one that I just cut. And let me see if oh, here's the white piece of paper I had. I don't know if this will make it better or not. So right here is the wire that we just cut, and I'm just going to take the flat part of my pliers, put it right up against that wire, and then just angle it just a little bit towards that wire, but we're coming back to the next one, and just a little bit of an angle. And what that does is that leaves you with like basically no gap whatsoever. If you go right straight in and you cut, a lot of times you wind up with a little gap. And the one thing about jump rings is you always want to bend them outwards and then back together. You never want to pull them apart and push them back together because you'll never get them round again. So again, you just push them away from each other, and when you want to put them back together, you push them back towards each other. So here is the wire that we just cut. So I'm going to go to the next wire. I'm going to go up against the one we cut, a little tiny bit of an angle, and just give it a nip. And there we go. There's another one. And again, the one that we just cut, just right up next to it with just a touch of an angle, and just use the point of your nippers so that you don't grab two wires at one time. If you try and grab two wires at one time, your nippers don't want to cut very easily. And then I'm going to go right here, and I have just this little bit left. Now again, this has that straight part on it. There's always a little bit of straight at each end, and those don't work well for your jump ring. So that's how you make a jump ring. Do exactly the same thing with a skewer to make smaller jump rings. And after I make them, I just stick them in this little bag. But so here are the smaller ones that we made with the skewer. And here's the one that we made with the pen. Now you want different sizes. If you have a straight, like paintbrush handle, a screwdriver that has a round shaft on it, you can use anything that's round and just make your own jump rings. Alrighty, so then I did want to show you the beads that we did last week. We made this bead last week with a piece of torn paper, and there was an extra piece underneath of it. So what I did was, because I wondered what it would look like if I had done the edges dark, and this is what it would look like if I had done the edges dark, because I did the other one that was ripped exactly the same way. And you see the blue and then you see the dark blue on the edge. I think that looks really cool. It just gives it a little bit more definition. And this one I have has a little bit more glue on it than this one did. So, and then I'm going to show you how to make this dangle here, which gives you 3 hoops that you can put charms on the bottom of. And so we're just going to take a piece of our wire, probably about 12 inches long. It just depends on how long your bead is that you're going to have to go up through, but 12 inches will probably give you enough. I'm just going to nip that off, and that's about 12 inches. Then I'm going to fold it in half and use our round nose pliers, and I'm going to go to the really wide part and just wrap that around there, and then give it one twist like that. So then we have a little loop there. Then I'm just going to go about 1/4 of an inch or so up from that loop, and I'm just going to do a smaller one, so I'm going to go further up on my pliers, and I'm just going to go around like this until I get back to where we came together, and then I'm going to just bring this around and up. So now we have a little loop over here. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Come up about 1/2 inch. Come around the pliers. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the pliers this way to get them out of my way. Go all the way around. Once we get all the way around, I'm going to come around that 1/2 inch of wire and come up like this. So that now those 2 wires are facing up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring those together. Bring the 2 wires that are going up together like that, and then just wrap them around each other. Now I want this wrap to not be any longer than my bead, so because I don't want it to stick out the top. And so this is just going to make it nice and secure. And then this is what we have. That's what that looks like. Put this under here. There we go. Okay, I think it's time to change. My background's getting too busy. Okay, so then we have that, and we're just going to take whichever one is shorter and cut it off. It's going to be inside our bead, so we don't have to worry about if it's really that sharp or not, because it'll be inside the bead. And then just take your bead and put it on there like that. And now that's what you have. Now you can put a bead on the top. I just have these pretty blue beads that look nice with it. So just put that bead on the top. And then you're going to bend your wire over so that it makes a right angle. Put your little pliers in there, however big you want your loop, maybe right about there. Then come around your pliers. Now bring your pliers up to the top, keeping them in the same spot, and finish going around, and then wrap a couple of times. Now sometimes when you're wrapping like this, it's easier to do this if you use your other pliers to pull it around. And once you get it around as much as you want, if you have a little bit left over, now then you just take your nippers, go in there and get as close as you can. Hold on to that little piece of wire because it'll go flying. You don't want it to hit you in the eye or go flying on the floor. Like here, if it goes flying on the floor, Papa's little puppy will find it. Well, she's not a puppy, she's a little dog. She will find it and she will chew on it. She likes anything that's little and hard. And I really don't want her chewing on a piece of wire. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pliers back in here because I want these to be even. So I'm just going to give that a twist so that they're both facing the same way. And then if I find out later that I need it to hang sideways, I can always twist it some more. So there we go. And then what can you do with those? You can just hang a charm. Now in all of the little bits that we got, there was a lot of little what you could use for charms. This was like a long bracelet, so you could use one of those. You can use any sort of thing for a charm. There's a really pretty little crystal. I like that. So then you're just going to take the little crystal. It already has a jump ring on it. When I took the, I guess I should use pliers. Hold on to one side. And then bend it away. Put it on here. And then bend them back together again till they meet. And there we go. Now we have that cute book charm. And if I want, I could put another charm on each side. And that's why you come up 1/2 inch, because it puts those a little bit further away, so they would hang down. This one hangs in the middle. Those would hang down a little bit on the edges. I like just the looks of the wire. I mean, I like this one just like it is, even without a dangle on the bottom of it. And then we're just going to put it on one of our paper clips. So if you have a paper clip that you don't like the colors of, because the ones that I bought had the plastic on them, what I did was I took this paper clip, I held it here, painted the whole thing with fingernail polish, and then after that was dry, then I held it over here and I painted this end with fingernail polish. Now it still has to dry, so I'm not going to use that, but that would look nice with that. And here's the difference. I painted a blue paper clip, and so that's the difference of how they look. And this one's got a little bit of a sheen to it because it's a little bit of a metallic nail polish. So, but we'll just use one of the light blue ones. And then all you're going to do, and you can do it one of two ways. Really, I prefer to have a jump ring on it because the jump ring makes it more, it lets it dangle better. I'm just going to open up this little jump ring, put it through my loop, put it through my paper clip, and then grab the other side and bend them both back together. Just like that. Excuse me. And so now, and what you need to do is, it needs to be at this end of your paper clip so that you can slide your paper clip onto a piece of paper in your book like this, and then it will hang down on the outside of your book. Now, if you want to, you could put a little bit of super glue on that jump ring and glue it to your paper clip and let it sit till it dries really well. To me, it seems like it always breaks off, but you could try that. But it's not really going to go anywhere. It's on your book, and so it can't slip off the paper clip because once you put it onto a piece of paper, there's nowhere for it to go. It can't go all the way around that paper clip to get off of there. So, get my little closure out of the way. And that's what it looks like. And I just think that they're really cute. So there is one made with homemade paper beads. And then I did want to just show you our other some of the other paper beads that we made. So these ones I painted with a metallic nail polish. These were the little brown ones that I had shown you. And those were just small beads. Again, cut a triangle and just wrap it until you get to the end. And then we have the flat ones too. This one here, I painted with a glitter nail polish, just a clear glitter nail polish. The one that we made that was just like half of a bead, I painted that one black. And then I told you about you could put words. This is a piece of fabric. It's actually an old shirt of mine. And so I wrapped that around a tube bead. And then I put a word, so it says hope on there. And then this one has just a coat of clear fingernail polish on it. When you're using clear fingernail polish, if you've written something with a permanent marker, be careful. One swipe across, let it dry completely, then you can put a heavier coat on it. But when you go across there, that nail polish will smear permanent ink. So just do one quick coat across, let it dry, and then you can put more coats on it, and it will have that buffer of that first coat that you put on there. But so that's what I was talking about putting words on there. And then also just so simple. Now we had to make the bead and we made all of the, everything to go there, but you want to make one really quick. That's just as simple to do. We'll just put those there, move this one over here, and then we'll just look at, here's one with glitter nail polish on it also. And that was the pink fabric bead that I put a little bit of purple, just kind of dabbed it here and there. So you want to make one. We've got our jump rings here. And we have our jewelry that we took apart, and you can just choose a piece of that jewelry, and we can just go ahead and open it up. You just have to find which side is, yep, that's the side. So just open that up, then take a jump ring, and if you don't like a silver jump ring with a gold piece of metal that's on here, just if you have some gold fingernail polish, paint your silver jump ring gold. Whoops, I don't want to, oh yes, I can close it up. We're going to close that up. Take a paper clip and just string it on there. There we go. That one is done. That's how simple they are. You can just make them so quickly, and you can just use, like here are some little metal bits, and because that is very fat, maybe I would want to take a bigger jump ring, and maybe I would want to maybe paint my jump ring some kind of a color. But let's just take that, close it up. And just put that one right on there. And so they're just so quick and simple to make. Also chain. It's fun to just take a piece of chain, fold it in half so that it's just dangling down like that, and just have the chain. You don't even have to have a dangle on the chain. And I like the way that those look. Sometimes you want things to be simple looking. You don't want anything real super fancy or extravagant for your dangles on your book. So here's one that this was a piece of a bracelet, and I just took it all apart. But here's the one that's just 2 pieces of chain, nothing else, and it looks really cute. These are all bits off of necklaces. When I took them apart, I just took them apart in different segments. This one had 3 segments. Some of them I only did 2. Some of them I did individually, so I just had a pearl, or I just had this clear piece. Well, see, here's just a pearl, and here's just a clear piece. And these are just little bits that came off of a necklace just like that. That was it. They were already like that. So it's so simple to make these, especially if you're thinking, I need to decorate a journal up and I need to do it kind of quickly. You can just go ahead, find a little bit to hang it on there, a jump ring and a charm. That's all you need. You don't even need, if that was a charm, just a jump ring and a charm. That's it. You want to be more extensive and make it really all your own. Make your own paper beads and make a beautiful, like dangle that hangs down even further. Some books, you don't want them really long. It depends on how much space you have on your book to where you're going to hang it and where it's going to hang down to. This book has a string closure, so I don't want one to hang down here where the closure is going to go across it and it's going to get tangled up. So I would want one that would hang here but stop by the time that I got to here. And so that way, you know, I want one that's going to fit in there like this one does. So when I put that on a page, it hangs down, but it doesn't interfere with my closure. And the nice thing is they can be taken off and moved around. So if you're sending it out on a journal, you know, they can decide if they like it there or they want to take it off because they're writing in it and then put it back on when they're done. So there we go. That was just such a quick and simple, but really, really fun thing to do. And I hope that if you do these, I hope that you enjoy making your own. I really like the way that they turn out. And I hope that you do too. Thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.